of life, a twisted soul where horror doesn't end.
Hello, horror fiends, and welcome to Guess What? You're Wrong, the podcast where we dive into all things horror and spoil the hell out of every movie we discuss. With me, Big D, as your host, be prepared for a terrifyingly good time. From classic slasher flicks to contemporary horror masterpieces, we're going to explore the genre from every angle that we can and leave no stone unturned. Horror, prints, and shine. New conversations, same podcast. So buckle up, bonehead, because you're going for a ride.
Enjoy the show!
Beneath the moonlight, he wanders alone, a solitary figure, a haunting tone. His laughter echoes.
Now, before we get into this episode too far, I just got a little disclaimer here. First off, all audio used in this podcast is used under the protection of fair use. And as with all the movie reviews that I do here on Guess What? You're Wrong, we're going to spoil the hell out of every single thing we talk about. So, you have been warned. Shit, let me turn the microphone on first. Hello, and welcome back to another frog brother loving episode of Guess What? You're Wrong. And now we are finally back with this frog brother loving fuck sucking episode that has actually been in the works now for about, what would you say, about 3 months?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while. Look, it's not any of our faults. It's just
Circumstances
in the way.
Circumstances, baby.
Hold on, before we keep going, I'm gonna grab water. I mean, you can edit it, right?
So, basically, I'll go over some housekeeping while you're getting your water. We are housekeeping wise. Everybody out there knows I've gone over this a million fucking times. We were during October. We were supposed to be covering. It was supposed to be the month of vampires. This episode is actually one of those episodes that was supposed to come out in October. Never came out, but this is we are covering from 1987, The Lost Boys,
The best vampire film.
arguably one of the best. Absolutely.
I mean, it's my personal favorite, but that being said, I guess I'm not the biggest.
Now that you say that, I'm going through my head. I don't know too many there. It's up there. It definitely is up there.
You can definitely say the worst is the Twilight series as a whole. Not like just, although there are some that are way worse than others. I've seen them all.
You don't like shimmering vampires, but that, like I said, there was a lot of shit that happened October, November, December. October was supposed to be nothing but vampire. There was supposed to be a shit ton of episodes that were supposed to come out in October. November was supposed to be a nice, regular 4 episodes. December was supposed to be a shit ton of winter-based, Christmas-based, like we normally do. Work was sending me all over fucking creation,
every which way,
and
but loose.
I watched a shit ton of movies.
Yeah.
But just didn't have time to record, actually. So this is why we're actually sitting down now to record The Lost Boys from 1987. Let's bust into this. Directed by none other than Joel Schumacher.
The legend, the one that kind of ruined the Batman series. I would say.
Yeah.
He had the nipples, and that's where it got crazy. I just we don't need that. Oh, speaking. Okay.
Oh, yes.
I know this isn't. It's just because we mentioned DC. Did you know that as an April Fool's joke that they announced 4 months prior, DC is releasing a Harley Quinn comic that is purely about her farts, just flatulence. That's not a joke. You can look it up if you want to, but that's no joke. Literally, the cover's her farting. Apparently, this is a rumor. This part, what I'm about to say, is a rumor that there's supposed to be a scratch and sniff version.
Oh, dude, come on.
Dude, I know. It's It's insane that they approved that, but they declined that Batman Beyond movie they were gonna make and that Batgirl movie.
I guess if people are gonna buy it, right?
No, yeah, but the wrong people.
Whatever.
The wrong people. Like the only people that are gonna buy that are the people that are into
Weirdos.
flatulence.
Weirdos. All right, so back to the Lost Boys, written by Jan Fisher, James Jeremias, Jeffrey Boehm.
Where are you getting these? Are you looking on IMDb or are you looking on
The IMDb?
Okay,
The IMDb. So as we know, this doesn't have a huge cast, but it's got some heavy hitters here.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The only people I really know are it's Corey Feldman. Sorry, before I guess watching this movie, what's his face? Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah,
and Alex Winter.
Alex Winter.
Those are like the big three names. Like I've seen it. Oh, and Corey Haim.
Yeah,
of course, Corey Haim. Yeah.
The Corey is Kiefer from. Yeah, I mean Kiefer.
But Jason Patrick, who's like the star, I would say, of this movie, I've only ever seen him in this.
What was he in before this? Jason Patrick. Let's take a look.
I've only ever seen him in this movie, from what I understand. Yeah, I've only ever seen him in this. Looking through the list.
Well, Lost Boys. He was in The Alamo.
Because he's good in this movie. I like him in this movie.
He's in Speed 2, Cruise Control.
Doesn't seem like he's been in a lot of amazing things after this. No offense.
He's in Solar Babies.
He's in Terrifier 3, apparently.
Which I still haven't seen. So
I've even seen 2. I have to watch them.
That's good.
I've seen 1.
Jason Patrick did a great job in this. Of course, we had the Coreys. This was actually the first movie where they had the Coreys together. And
I thought their first one was the Drive, the License movie.
License to Drive. No, I think that came out after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
License to Drive. That was one of the trivia things that came out in this.
It did a year after.
This is the first movie. This actually kicked off an 80s phenom that they dubbed as the Coreys. Having the Coreys in your movie was
name,
the bomb. We had Diane West, who played Lucy, the
mom.
The mom, yeah.
Is she?
I don't know, something about her. She was kind of dainty and cute and dainty kind of way,
Yeah, I always liked her as the mom, but is she like a big star? I've never seen her in anything either. But
I'm into moms. Leave me alone. Let's see. What else is she into? She's into old fat guys, I hear.
The only thing I've seen she's in is Robots.
She's in a Hannah and Her Sister, Footloose, ID4. She was in ID4.
I've never seen Footloose.
You've never seen Footloose?
The song's good. I like the song.
Kind of an American, are you? Kevin Bacon saved the world.
But by dancing, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the world. I think it was this small, weird Mormon town.
Bright Lights, Big City. Oh, wow. She was in that? Parenthood, Edward Scissorhands? Dude. Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff.
Oh, she is the mom in Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, that's okay. That's what I've seen her in. Okay.
And we got Grandpa, who played by Barnard Hughes.
Hero of the movie.
Yeah, at the end. Mm-hmm. Bad thing about Santa Carla. Too many damn vampires.
Why the hell would you not warn your young daughter, or your daughter, your young grandkids, that you're moving into a vampire town? If you know that.
He knows, yeah.
I would give him a little warning.
That's one thing that's a little questionable there.
I mean, look, he saves him in the end, but still.
Edward Herman as Max, who ends up turning out to be not only the manager of the video store, the local Blockbuster, but the head vampire.
Yeah, the alpha.
Kiefer Sutherland.
He's probably the best part of this movie. Like the best role.
He does a good job.
He's amazing. I like.
What was he in before this?
I'm not really I know Kiefer is a celebrity, but I've seen some episodes of 24. That's about it. That's the only thing I know.
Young Guns. Was Young Guns come out before this? Young Guns was in 88. So
he was in The Simpsons. Who's he voiced The Simpsons? Okay.
Stand By Me. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he was in Stand By Me the year before this.
Oh yeah, he is the bully. Yeah.
Yep. Max Dugan Returns in 83. I remember that movie. I remember watching that movie. I remember sitting in front of the TV when HBO first came out and had a jar of Spanish olives, eating the whole damn jar.
What's the I don't know what a Spanish olive is. What is that?
Green olives with
Oh,
tomatoes in them.
okay.
And eating that whole damn jar and watching Max Dugan Returns.
When I think Spanish olive, I just think olive. That's just an olive to me.
Because you're Spanish, yeah. Then we have Jamie Gertz. The ever fabulous Jamie Gertz.
I know her recently for the first time for me. I watched Twister for the first time recently, and
yeah,
she's the Bill's soon to be wife. Doesn't work out.
Yeah, she was in some episodes of Different Strokes, The Facts of Life, Family Ties. She was in 16
she was
Candles.
In Family Ties? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah. 16 Candles there. She was in
a much younger
a movie called Mischief, I remember from the 80s. Crossroads with the one and only Daniel LaRusso.
What's that about? What's Crossroads?
He's a guitar player. He meets at the crossroads. So you know what happens at the crossroads. You watch Supernatural.
No, wait, no, it's not about that, is it?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Is it really?
Yeah. Sell your soul to the devil to play the guitar, baby. It's a good movie.
There's a whole episode about that. That's crazy.
Of course, Corey Feldman as Edgar Frog. It's weird because you have Corey Haim plays Sam, who's Jason Patrick's brother. Corey Feldman plays Edgar Frog. Jameson Newlander plays Alan Frog. So that's the Frog brothers.
They don't look anything like brothers, but you know what? It's a movie. It's fine.
Yeah, what is it?
We need to review Corey Haim and Jason Patrick, but
yeah,
it's a movie.
Yeah. And you got Brooke McCarter plays Paul. Billy Worth plays Dwayne. Alex Winter from Bill and Ted's fame plays Marco.
Oh, you know what? There's one person that we have to credit, and I don't know his name, but give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah, I know his name. I hear you talking about.
Do you really?
I hear him about. Chance Michael Corbett, who plays Laddie. Laddie, the little boy.
Oh, that's not who I was talking about.
I know who you're talking about, though.
Okay, hold on.
He was a saxophone player for the Tina Turner band. Did you know that?
No, I don't know what the Tina Turner band is.
You know who Tina Turner is?
Okay, I got his name though. Oh wait, yes, it does say he is primarily known for saxophone work supporting Tina Turner. Okay, interesting. But Tim Capello, man, that scene, every time I see it, it's like I've seen wrestling, and I've seen those 80 pics of oiled up men, but there's no man more oily and more gyratey than him. It always it's just so I always have a little chuckle every time I see him.
That was sweat.
No, I know, but there's no way there wasn't also oil.
I think it was supposed to be sweat, but yeah, it's all oil.
Yeah, it's a movie.
It was,
but yeah, every time it gives me a little chuckle. I love it.
So now that we went through the cast in this movie, I mean, this movie, when did this come out? 87.
And I will always say this for every 80s movie and like older movies with practical effects, it looks so good. Nothing about this movie really looks bad.
Oh, no. I mean, it holds up great.
Yeah.
It holds up great. I mean, even after watching this all these years later, I mean, it's still holds up.
Yeah.
It's still great.
It's a really fun movie. Great character.
I'm trying to remember the first time I saw this. I honestly, I don't even remember the first time I saw it.
I was probably like 13, 14. It was probably with you.
Yeah, it came out when I was about 13. So I'm guessing I must have seen it shortly after. I mean, this was a big hit when it came out.
Oh yeah, I gotta imagine because this is the perfect this is a perfect date movie. Like it's vampires, which girls are into vampires. Like it's just a thing. It's got these good looking dudes, but it's also like genuinely a really funny movie. It's got good comedy, but it's also like this really like sweet we got to move to this new town. They're not that they're having troubles with the kids, the mom, but like clearly the older brother's like having outs because he.
Well, yeah, and this is a thing. He's supposed to be playing what
He's got to be like 16, 17. He can't 16, be. Yeah, he can't be like he's supposed. I think he's supposed to be a high schooler.
Yeah, like a 16. I mean, he's riding a dirt bike around Santa Clara, whatever.
Everywhere I look,
Santa
it's teenager
Cruz.
Michael. So like he's a teen.
Yeah, so it's they'll go down on the boardwalk, getting into trouble. This is the 80s. Kids went out and had fun in the 80s. I don't remember when I first saw this, but I do remember really liking this movie when I first saw it. It's been something that I've gone back to. I watch this. Will always watch it and go back to it. Whenever somebody says,
let's watch The Lost Boys. Yeah.
No, whenever somebody says vampire movies, this is one of my top 5. Absolutely.
This is the one I immediately think of, to be honest.
Absolutely. Some trivia here. I was reading this earlier. The new location of the Atlantis Fantasy World comic book store, which was featured in the film, is owned by Joe Ferreira II, who still owns and carries the original #1 issue of Vampires Everywhere that Sam reads in the film. The comic was created only for the film.
Oh.
Its opening page is signed by all the cast members from the movie.
Damn.
The owner, Joe Ferreira II, allows any shopper to hold it and take a photo with it free of charge.
That's pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
I honestly, I would like to do that.
Just go to California just for that.
There's probably a couple of things I want to see, but other than that, I'll dip out.
It's like that's the only reason I'd really want to go to Minneapolis now, is because they got a huge Prince shop in the airport. I'd fly into Minneapolis, go to the shop, and then fly out.
I mean, it better be a cheap flight, because that's pretty insane. I will say one of the most insane things to be about this movie, like this is a trivia thing too. Apparently, what's Santa Carla? It's Santa Cruz in real life, right? Yep. Apparently, the state of California was like, yeah, you can't call it Santa Cruz because we don't want to be associated with a murder town.
Well, they were. Santa Cruz was plagued. Well, here was one other.
Well, that's probably why they didn't want to. If it had actual a lot of murder cases, that's probably why.
Another topic of trivia: Santa Cruz, where Santa Carla takes place, was once plagued with the reputation of being the murder capital of the world.
Oh wow! So
because of a series of brutal murders by 3 different, very disturbed men in the early 70s, because of John Lindsay Frazier, Herbert Mullen, and Ed Kemper, Santa Cruz endured 28 murders over a 30-month period between 1970 and 1973.
I mean, it makes sense why they called it that and why they filmed it on that, but that's crazy. I didn't know that was actually. I thought that was just a movie because vampires. That's insane.
Yeah, vampires. I'm telling you. But that's this movie. It starts off with
they just move in. Yeah, they're driving in.
They're driving in, moving into. I mean, we're 18 minutes and we're just not getting to the damn movie. They're just they're moving into town.
Moving their grandpa's house.
Moving to the grandpa's house, and the grandpa's house is fucking. I think it's pretty damn cool.
No, it is it is a nice house. It really is. He needs to tone it down a little bit with the taxidermy. All right, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Awesome.
I don't know. I would say 5 tops you need in the house. You don't need he gifts Sam one. I'm he puts it in his room. I'm nah, man, I'm good. I don't need that. I'd rather keep my Rob Lowe poster.
Yeah, half naked Rob Lowe poster.
I didn't understand because I understand Rob Lowe from Parks and Recreation, so I don't understand why he was in a poster in the 80s. Was he that big?
I guess so. I don't remember. I wouldn't have a poster.
Every time I see this movie, I think it's so funny. There's a Molly Ringwald as well, and that I get.
I would have had a Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, that I get. Yeah. But Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Even if you were into men, I don't think you'd have Rob Lowe.
I don't. No, I think I'd have Rob Lowe if I was in the guys.
Nah, he's out of 80s hunks, he's definitely
he definitely
he'd have
he's like the picture fuck boy.
I guess maybe back then,
definitely, dude.
I don't know.
Let's see here.
Either way, I just think it's so funny that he has him up there.
But yeah, they get their first outing. They go down to the boardwalk right away.
Immediately Michael's looking for a job. That's what he's first. He's looking for some money. Which I get. You guys just moved to a new place.
Need some dineros. And right away, Haim comes up across, the comic book shop. It's on the boardwalk, and the Frog Brothers right away, approach him. You like comics,
I
and
wonder if they do this to everybody or they like saw something in him.
singles him out.
Yeah.
Telling him about approaching him about you just moved to town or whatever they said, or be here. They start giving him a comic. Oh, I'm not into horror comics, and he goes off on him about you can't have
you can't have these Superman 97s for these Superman 100 or whatever. It's some kryptonite wasn't introduced yet. He goes off. Yeah.
But then he's like, yeah, you should read this. Really read this.
That might be why they respect him, because he has so much comic knowledge. Like, okay.
Then he ends up taking that vampire comic home.
Oh, but this is also when Michael first meets Star, right?
Yeah. He's like Caesar. Is he? It has been a minute since we watched this, because originally we're supposed to record this 3 months ago.
Yeah. But I'm pretty maybe the first night not, but I'm pretty sure it is where they see the.
Well, I think the first night he sees her, they end up talking.
Yeah.
And then
Mike buys a leather jacket to look cool.
And then what's his nuts?
David
shows up, and they do that whole challenge thing.
Well, because clearly, Star is David's girlfriend, or supposed to be, is what we understand.
Yeah, that's what it comes across.
Yeah. I mean,
I think in the end run we see that it's not really a girlfriend.
Yeah, it's more like I don't know.
She belongs to me.
Yeah,
I turned her kind of deal. She's mine.
She's a possession.
Yeah. So, but that's what it comes across to Michael. Is it? Oh,
yeah, this is your girl.
That's your girl. Okay. But then Michael's out there on his little motorbike, and David's like, "You don't gotta beat me.
Yeah,
you gotta keep up." And
it's also it's strange to me because they're running in the sand, and you would think dirt bike would do a little better in the sand than their they
other bikes. They had dirt bikes too, didn't they?
This is just a slower, little moped kind of bike.
I'm guessing. I don't know I don't know about dirt bikes and shit, so I don't know what he had, but all I know is that they're speeding. And then we have this scene, where you have the fog that's coming in. The visuals in this are freaking spectacular, dude.
It's so strange to me because this is also one of Joel Schumacher. I don't really know him for a lot of things besides this and Batman movies, but
Destroying Batman.
He's so good. He made such a good movie here. What happened?
He put nipples on Batman.
No, he just made it a cartoon, but a bad cartoon. It was just
I mean, and the visuals on in this part here where the fog's coming in, and then David and his guys kind of back up a little bit, and Michael takes the lead. And, I mean, it's not so much that it's like a race, it's not like they're racing and Michael's just pulling way ahead, but it's like we see it from a different vantage point. It's almost like the camera turns, and instead of seeing it from behind, where we're seeing Michael lagging behind, now we're seeing it from the front point, where we're seeing Michael coming forward, and the rest of the crew is kind of falling behind a little bit.
I love seeing all the lights go through the fog too, get cut through the fog. It looks really good.
And then right at the last minute, Michael kind of slides, because there's a cliff. Bam. Right there, and then we have a little bit of tete-on-tete, little duking it out there between Michael and David, because there was some almost "you're trying to kill me,"
And then this is also when they do the hanging off the train, right?
Mm-hmm.
The train railway, and obviously Michael's gripping on for
Woo, that gave me a shiver.
Michael's gripping for his life, but I think David's telling him to let go.
Well, that's and that this whole the whole bike thing, and then the fight, and just you and me. Then they get him over to the train tracks, and we want you to be one of us, and and they start hanging from this trestle. And for those of you out there that don't know what a trestle is, it's basically a bridge that goes over a river, but it's only for trains.
Yeah,
it's called a trestle. They're hanging
also,
from.
you didn't know it was called that, but fun fact.
I used to play on those when I was little, and statute of limitations is gone. But they're hanging from it, and this is another one of these great visuals, because the fog is so thick.
Yeah, you can't see the bottom at all.
You honestly think that this is like miles down.
Which, that's way more horrifying, not being able to see the bottom, because it's like this could be endless, or this could be right there.
Yeah, I mean, it could be 5 feet down. We don't know. But they're hanging there, and one by one,
yeah, they all start dropping.
And Michael's hanging out for his dear life. He's just like, no, I can't do it.
If it's like, let go, Michael.
Yeah. And then, of course, he falls.
Yeah.
And then you have this little thing where, he's falling and he's screaming, then he's not, and he's screaming, and then he ends up
at the old San Francisco earthquake.
Yeah, this old hotel, where it actually wouldn't be it'd be kind of a cool hangout type of place.
I mean, for teenagers, yeah, it would, but like now, as like a 25-year-old, it'd be like, there's tetanus all over this place for sure. You're gonna catch some kind of disease. Like, it's not worth it, kids. It's not.
I mean, I don't know.
Especially, oh my god. I mean, this is just for later on, but like when Michael and Star have sex in that bed, I'm like, the stuff.
Spoiler.
Look, we were talking all around, but I'm just like, that's the things that are gonna happen. I wouldn't risk that. But
yeah, the
actually, I guess
you could squat there easily, man. We've been living there for years.
He's a 16-year-old. I get it. 16, 17.
Yeah, so he gets down there, and then they're fucking with him.
Yeah, they this is when the food stuff happens where
give him
Chinese food,
give him rice, and they're like, how are the maggots? What?
Just looking down. That, honestly, I remember watching that for the first time. Like, that is pretty fucking spooky. I wouldn't fuck with that at all.
Yeah, that is kind
of like, at that moment I would have left. I wouldn't have stayed around. I'm like, nah, man, you guys are some fucking weirdos.
Yeah, he started eating rice and turned into maggots. Started eating
worms,
lo mein noodles, and they're worms. And then he busts out the wine. Bring me my wine. Whenever some head honcho guy says, "Hey, bring me my wine," and it's in some old ass bottle that, yeah,
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
How you got wine down in here, dude? Come on.
Never drink the Kool-Aid, kids.
But yeah, Star is already. I mean, you can see Star's apprehensive, and they're like, "No."
Oh yeah, no, she's warning him not to do it. Yeah. Which
doesn't she tell him it's blood? And he's like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, does she?
She tells him it's blood, and he's like, yeah, like those were worms and maggots, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's tripping. I forgot.
And so he's like, he drinks it, but it was blood.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, we think it's David's blood. It's not.
Well, yeah, that's true. Because we think he's the head vampire.
I think he's the head honcho. But then we find out later that he's not. He's just a minion.
Oh, you know what? I think we mixed up the order of things. This happens. They ride the bike. He gets pissed. They go to the earthquake place, and then after he drinks it, that's when they do the railway thing. That's why he can drop and not die.
Right. True.
He drops, and then I don't know, he becomes a bat, whatever the fuck happens, and he ends up at home in bed. And he thinks he's dreaming.
That's right, because that's when what's the dog's name?
Nanook.
Nanook. That's when
Nanook of the North.
Right. Because he wakes up in bed. He's been sleeping all day or something like that. He's got his glasses on, and this is when we get the Haim in the bathtub singing that damn song. I don't remember that damn song.
I can't remember. I have no clue.
Whenever I'm watching the movie, I know the song, and I'm like, I can't remember the song now.
Yeah, he's in there with Nanook.
Somebody's gonna be watching this when it comes out, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that damn song is this, you dumbass."
They're probably saying that too when we mix up the order of events right there.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna tell you,
we fixed it.
everybody out, look, we watched this movie 3 months ago. I know we probably should have watched it again, but we were also supposed to record this 3 months ago.
So we're doing pretty well. This is one of those movies we've seen a lot. So like,
we're gonna get all the important parts. They may be
a little out of order sometimes, but
instead of A, B, C, D, it may be A, F, G, B, D, E, F, like that.
Speaking of
we'll
which,
get them all.
Whenever cops are like asking you when you're drunk, like one of the things they ask you to spell the alphabet backwards. I couldn't do that sober. What?
Yeah, I can't do that sober.
Insane. I understand the line thing, but like you're asking too much of me there. There's no song to go backwards.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, it's not gonna happen, dude. It's not gonna happen when I'm drunk or sober. So,
not that I'm gonna be stopped by a cop. I hope not. Anymore.
And by the way, your public service announcement for the episode: the police are the teeth of the state. They are there to enforce corrupt laws, as well as good laws. There you go. That's my tidbit.
They're still teeth, which are dangerous.
And taxation is theft.
Oh well, yeah, that's obvious. But
on to the Lost Boys. So Haim is. I'm still trying to remember that damn song. You know what? I'm gonna find out what song he sings because it's bothering me now.
But yeah, he's chilling in the bathtub, singing with a Nook, and Michael is going through his changes. I think he puts on the glasses, right? Or is it still daytime? Yeah, he puts on glasses. He's sensitive of light, and
I ain't got no home by Clarence Frogman Henry.
I don't know. I mean, obviously,
ain't got no home.
Okay, I do remember that a little bit when he was singing it. Okay.
Yeah. He puts on those glasses.
He heads in there,
and he's having a hard time. He's like, he's got his hands on the door. He's like, no. And then you've seen the Nook, his head raised up, like some shit's about to go down.
Yeah, but I appreciate though. Michael is fighting it. Like he is trying. Obviously, his instincts are trying to take over.
Yeah,
he is fighting it.
He tried, but then, and right at the same time, Corey puts his head down, I don't know, to rinse his face off or some shit like that. And the Nook attacks. Poor Michael, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. He starts bleeding. And this whole time, Sam is freaking out. Like he's not trustworthy at all. And he's figuring out he's becoming a vampire. And, obviously he read that comic.
Strong shit.
He read that comic, so he's a little wary of it at the moment.
Well, at first he's like, "What the hell did you do to my dog?"
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's like, "Nothing. He's protecting you. He attacked me. He's protecting you." And that's when he sees his reflection in the mirror. He's like, "You're a blood-sucking, you're a blood-sucking fucking vampire."
He didn't say fucking.
I'm telling Mom. That's what he said. I'm telling Mom.
And that's how you know they're brothers, because I'm telling Mom.
And this is the whole scene too, isn't it? Mom's out on a date with Max.
That doesn't happen yet.
Well, yeah, because she's on a date, and this is where.
Oh, the first call. You're right. Yes, that's what caused him to come. Yes, you're right. You're right.
He runs up. He gets the phone. He starts floating outside. He's trying the phone, and his Mom.
Oh, by the way, I just speaking of this is Max, right? His name's Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot to mention when they met earlier. There was a moment where David and the crew came in.
Oh yeah,
and he just mentioned like, oh, these like whatever. He was these kids, these rumbling teenagers. Like he's annoyed by them, but that was just a little seed there.
Yeah, and they had so at this point they had a date. The mom and Max
they set a date after a meeting. Yep,
it kind of got ruined because Oh, no, they weren't on a date yet. I think Mom was at work.
Oh, a job from him. That's what it was. Yeah. So because she needed a job, and he was like, okay.
She was at work.
He's clearly into her.
Yeah. And were they on a date?
I think they're on a date later, but I don't think it's now.
Not this time, because I know at some point I know they're on a date. Yeah, because they go on a date. I was on the first date. They go out and they get the phone call. She gets a phone call as they're sitting down, And he's like, oh, Michael's trying to kill me. He's trying to kill me. And the mom's like, what the fuck is going on? What? I'm coming right now. She hangs up and takes off. And that's the scene where Michael's actually floating outside the window with the phone in his hand. Like, let me in. You got to let me in. Because he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's like floating away. I thought that was the same scene with Nanook. Wasn't that the same scene with Nanook?
No, okay. So I'm pretty sure. I think we're confusing. I mean, you're right, but I think the first time she comes back from that is she's at work. When they come back on the date is at the end of the movie. Because Dave is already dead. She comes back. She sees all this shit. Because I think Sam does call.
That's later because that's the second date.
Oh, was it the second date? I thought it was the first date.
The first date gets ruined. She comes home.
That was the first date. The first date gets ruined because the first date is with them, isn't it? Like the kids and everybody?
No, the first date, she goes out to some restaurant with him. It gets ruined. She comes home and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was reading the scary comics. And she's like, what? And then the second date.
I mean, I remember that happening, but I'm pretty sure.
The second date is when he comes to the house and it's the spaghetti night and he invites the Frog Brothers over.
I'm pretty sure it's the first date.
No, the first date was at a restaurant where Max was taking her out to. The first time was when the Nanook scene when she was at the video store.
Give me a second. You can edit this.
I'm pretty sure.
Hold on.
See, because Michael begins to change, he becomes sensitive to light, finds normal food revolting, and notices reflection fading. He develops a craving for food, for blood, and nearly attacks Sam. But Sam's dog Nanook intervenes and stops him. But terrified, Sam agrees to help Michael and deduces. So that's when he tells his mom that, oh, it must have been, that was the first date. That's when he was like, oh, it was the vampire comics I was reading.
I mean, I remember the vampire comics thing. I remember all that. But I could have sworn she wasn't on a date. I could have sworn she was just at work. Because that's what the first setup with them is, the fact that she's working for him.
Now, they were working.
Or that's their first meet, is the fact that she asked for a job, and then the next scene you see them together is them working. Hold on. I'm looking at the movie right now. Give me one second.
Watch the movie. But then there was also that one scene where, because after that date, she goes back to Max's house, because Max has a dog, a white, like husky or some shit. She goes back to Max's house to take some wine and flowers or some shit like that. And this dog goes batshit nuts and tries to attack her. It doesn't go over too well. And that's when they're like, you know what? Let's have spaghetti at my house. So see, and that's right. Sam, Edgar, and Alan suspect Max is the head vampire, but after Max is invited to dinner at Lucy's house, they notice that he does have a reflection. They throw a bunch of garlic at him. They give him holy water. He passes all the tests, but then they tell him, he's like, they find out later that, you passed all the tests. He's like, yes, stupid boy. Don't you know if you invite somebody into their house, it renders all those tests useless?
It's some bullshit. I'm sorry. That shouldn't be true. Like, inviting, like, that's one of the deterrents about vampires, the fact that no matter what, like, you can't come in unless I invite you. But, like, that shouldn't be a bonus. Like, hey, guess what? If you do invite me, nothing else works. That's dumb.
Yeah. Everything else is useless because you invited me in.
It's dumb. But anyway, I mean, it is. But
so here we got David and his gang. They attempt to push Michael into killing. Well, I said they're flying up. Oh yeah, this is when they go and attack the Nazis. That are down partying on the beach. Yeah, Nazi surfers. Surf Nazis must die.
Never seen that movie.
Excellent movie by Troma.
I do know it's a Troma film, but it's one of the few I haven't seen a lot. I've seen like 3.
Michael does resist the temptation to feed, though, which is pretty cool. But this is when they're all hanging off that tree, and they start showing the up close of all these surf Nazi guys partying down there, and
I think
they all start transforming and
I think it's
changing.
only Michael and the kid that say, because the kid, I don't think he's
Yeah,
eating
he
yet.
doesn't feed yet.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't feed.
Neither does Star, right?
No.
And yeah, because they all turn back.
Yeah.
At the end, but
Later, Star confides in Michael that she and Laddie, a young member of the gang, are also only partly transformed.
which means they haven't killed.
They
Which
haven't
is
killed yet.
that's one of those vampire lore things which I've seen in a lot of vampire like movies and stuff, but like it doesn't seem like it'd be like in old vampire lore. It doesn't seem like an old thing. It seems like a new thing. Because I feel like no matter what, once you get bit by a vampire, normally, like in the old lore, like you just become a vampire. There's no like you killing you. That's when you become a full vampire. Like, yeah.
Well, there's like I watched that Dracula Untold, which was supposed to be the reboot for the Universal Monsters, which it was actually a pretty good fucking movie.
I never watched it.
Dracula Untold. It was actually a pretty damn good movie.
I watched that Tom Cruise mummy movie and I didn't like it.
Well, this Dracula Untold actually goes before.
Oh yeah, no, it's like way back. Yeah, it's like OG Dracula.
Before Dracula, before he actually became the vampire in the battle with the Turks. And it goes into he meets the demon or the person that actually made the deal with the devil to become
a vampire. Okay.
So he was stuck in this cave until he found somebody to pass it on.
He met the alpha vampire.
Yeah.
Like in Supernatural.
Yeah. The actual alpha.
Yeah.
And he said, and this is what he told him was, look, I can give you, you can experience my power and you have 3 days. If you do not feed, this is one of the things that he tells him, if you don't feed for 3 days, if you do not feed in human blood for 3 days, it'll be out of your system and you'll go back to human.
Oh, okay. So he was giving him a little test drive, basically.
Yeah, so basically he could see the power. So that was in that. Now I don't know how much that movie sticks to actual vampiric lore. I mean,
yeah, I'm not the biggest in vampire lore.
Vampires, I mean, Bram Stoker's Dracula wasn't steeped in vampire lore either. I mean, it was just a book that he wrote.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Here's the thing, man. I think it would be an awesome movie if Keanu Reeves wasn't what's his face?
That Bram Stoker's Dracula movie was pretty damn good.
No, the movie is good, man. The movie it's a solid movie. It's a great movie, but like the Keanu Reeves is his face.
You didn't like Bill S. Ted Esquire in there?
I didn't like I like Keanu Reeves in a lot of movies, but like for that character, he didn't work.
They're just lucky that the Dracula didn't kill his fucking dog.
Wait, what?
Lucky that Dracula didn't kill his dog.
I was very confused. I was like, what do you mean, what dog? And then I was like, oh yeah, John Wick,
dude.
But it's been there forever since the first one.
Yeah. So where was I at here? Star confides in Michael that okay. Well, yeah, actually, she admits that David wanted her to kill Michael to complete her transformation.
Oh, this is also when they bang as well.
Yeah.
Like all this talking. And like I said, I get it. You're a 16-year-old kid.
We hear that.
She's a very, very pretty lady. I understand. But that a better place.
I mean, it's a very dirty place, and she's a dirty girl. Dirty girl.
Well, also, she's immortal, so I guess she doesn't really have to deal with the disease.
She's not really immortal yet.
I would think
she hasn't fed.
Well, because here's the thing. That kid, the little boy, he has like a Civil War coat kind of jacket. And it always made me think that he was a really, really old kid.
No, but he wasn't, because earlier they show him on the side of a milk.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish they didn't.
Style, man.
I wish they didn't show that, because I just I like the idea that he's just lived forever and not drinking blood.
Nah,
little Civil War boy.
Now, Michael is determined to save Star and Laddie.
Yeah, now that he knows that he can, and himself, obviously.
So he brings Sam and the Frog Brothers to the gang's lair. He's in pain. They're all covered up and everything like that during the day, and he's like, you don't touch her. Don't touch her. They're not gonna die. This is when they're rooting around through these tunnels, and they're looking for what are we looking for? Coffins, and they're like, They look up.
And they're like bats. They're hanging upside down.
We're in one big coffin. They look up. They show their feet, and their feet are all.
It can't. I mean, I understand bats do it, but like, how can that be comfortable? Like, how?
I'm telling you.
Why would you want to sleep like that?
I'm telling you.
The coffin idea sounds way better. It's cushioning.
So they stake and kill Marco, who's
Alice Winter. They kill Alice Winter first, and I wish I could remember the specifics of his death. But what I like about this movie is that every vampire death is different.
Yeah,
like the way they die, but also like I remember he has like a weird sparkle, and I remember when I said that, I was like, is this where Twilight got the idea? It's because he has a weird little sparkle going on when he gets stabbed.
There's a piece of trivia in the good old Imdibus about that sparkle that the hamster was actually complaining about. Let me see here. I was reading that earlier. In the documentary Blood-Sucking Cinema in 2007, Corey Haim said that all the blood had glitter in it to give it a shimmering effect and was slimier than any other fake blood that he had ever dealt with.
Yeah, it was kind of like translucent a little bit, right? Like it wasn't like full blood.
Yeah.
It was because the sparkle helped a little bit. But yeah, I remember always that being pretty cool.
Yeah, so
their deaths are all very
they all narrowly escape with Star and Laddie. And David vows to hunt them down at night.
And this is also an interesting fact. Whenever he's trying to grab him and the sun comes out and starts burning him, he has a tear coming down his eye.
Yeah.
And I was always like, man, that's such a great acting moment from Kiefer. But it turns out it was the contacts in his eyes that caused him to tear up.
They had hard contact.
Yeah, of course they're gonna keep that in because it looks so good. Like it looks so good. Oh, did you have to keep that in?
He was in pain, literally. I mean, his eyes were hurting him. So Michael, Sam, and the Frog Brothers prepare for the gang's impending assault.
Yeah, they Home Alone the house.
Yeah,
classic Home Alone.
Holy water, longbow sticks.
Yeah, they fill a bathtub with holy water,
Holy
right?
water, dude.
Yeah.
And brilliant move. They're filling squirt guns and super soakers with.
Which, by the way, Winchester Brothers, maybe take a goddamn note. Okay,
Telling you,
seems like a pretty good idea.
Telling you. Now David's gang, they break into the Emerson home and fight. Sam, Nanook, and the Frog Brothers kill Paul and Dwayne.
I love the fact that because I think Nanook's outside.
Yeah,
and the when they first start to attack. And she's running in, and I was always like, "Look, I love our dogs. Okay, I really do. But if vampires were coming in, and they're that far away, I'm sorry, you're getting ate. I'm locking that door. I'm bolting it. I'm sorry.
Now, which one of them gets dunked in the bathtub?
I can't remember any of their names. That's the problem. The only ones I remember specifically are David.
Here.
It's David and Star, I guess. Really, the ones I remember. But like, I remember Alice Winter's the one that dies upside down.
Yeah, see, their pictures don't even look like
Winter.
them.
But yeah, there is the one that it's the Frog Brothers that kill him, right?
Yeah, they he says they're like I don't remember what happens. They bring a cross out or something like that. He's like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Something like that, and
they push him.
And
he just thinks it's gonna be water.
Then the Nook comes in, doesn't he? Nook comes in and pushes him into.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's the one, or she.
And then
he's the one that saves him.
And he goes, I start screaming, yeah, baby.
And they use the water guns a little bit, but they're not like the most effective. Like it hurts them, but like they're not like dying from it. But that
enough to give them a little bit of
getting full in a tub full of basically acid to you. Yeah, I'll do it.
Let me see here. Dwayne. Well, Michael takes on David. Yeah, we know this is.
Yeah, and they're just pretty much like.
But we know that David's going to be more powerful because he's been eating human blood for who knows how long.
The head vampire.
Yeah.
So you would think he'd be more powerful. But
Michael resists David's temptation to accept the transformation.
At least from what we know.
Yeah. And this is, I mean, they're battling and fighting and battling. And this is what goes back to one of the things that, you were saying earlier, that all this taxidermy stuff was everywhere. One of the battles, they're flying through the air, and David and Michael, he just flips around at the last minute and boom, impales him on some
Deer antlers. Yeah. Which, okay, Gramps, I guess with with 3 or 5, that would have been fine. They could have had deer antlers, it would have been good, but the rest of them, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
And David's dead.
Yeah,
but Michael, Star, and Laddie, they're like, we're still vampires.
Yeah, nothing happened, nothing changed.
So that leads them to believe that, guess what? That was not the head vampire, baby.
Yeah.
And Lucy and Max come back to the house, and they're like, my boys. We wanted to be a big, happy family. Max is saying this whole big, boys need a mother. I tried to bring you guys in, and we tried to be a big, happy family. But it didn't work out. And that's when he comes about. He's all vamped out and everything. And after, like, but you passed all the tests. Dumb boy. Don't ever invite a vampire into your house. It makes everything, null and void or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then, Lucy, she's going to accept his offer. Like, she's going to be like, okay, I will marry you or, become the father to your little vampire children. Or, sorry, mother to your little vampire children.
And then you hear yeah, and then
Grandpa saves the day.
Yeah, Grandpa
crashing into his own house.
Yeah, and then big spear, or I don't know.
I think it impales him to another like a fence post or something.
So Grandpa crashes his truck through the wall, impaling Max with a large wooden fence post.
Yeah. It's like, yeah,
causing him to. Oh, he explodes. Yeah, that's right. With Max's death,
all their deaths are different.
Michael, Star, and Laddie revert to normal. Grandpa then quips, "The one thing about living in Santa Carla, I never could stomach all the damn vampires."
God damn it, Grandpa!
Why
he gave us a warning. Give us a letter, a little note. Oh, this wasn't, now you can't text, but God, like, are you serious?
That's the thing. I'm like, yeah, my daughter and my grandkids are moving in. Hey, maybe I'm give you guys a heads up. I'm glad you're moving in, and I know you need some help. I know you've been through divorce and shit. We can get heads up. Don't go out at night. Stay in the house. Why, Grandpa? Because there's vampires every fucking where.
By the way,
really. With
this ending, whenever Max gives the offer, I'm pretty sure he mentions the word Lost Boys, like he calls them.
Yeah, he calls them Lost Boys. And that harkens back to Peter Pan.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it is that, like, I mean, I don't know if that's how they originally came with this idea, but I like it because, like, if you look at it through that context, Lucy, she's Wendy, and I guess Max would be Peter, which is strange, but he's Peter, and all the vampires are the Lost Boys.
Yeah, the Lost Boys.
Which I and the Nook of the North, which I'm pretty sure is a character in that. That's also another thing, which I just find interesting.
Wow, the budget was $8,500,000 estimated.
How much they make?
Opening weekend in the U.S., they only made $5 million, $5.2 million.
Damn. So that was probably good at the time. I mean, it grossed 32 overall, so it made its money back.
Oh yeah,
like it was a success overall. But like, I just imagined it being bigger. Yeah, like I said, I feel like this would be a good date movie.
Wonder what else came out that summer.
It was 87.
Let me see. Movie releases, because that would tell. Domestic box office, some in 1987. Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Teen Wolf 2.
RoboCop. I remember seeing RoboCop.
Oh, we had a Full Metal Jacket. That's a good one.
La Bamba. Lethal Weapon. Huh. That's May through. We're looking at July, though.
Oh, Princess Bride.
Well, just in July, we're looking at Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, RoboCop, Full Metal Jacket, Living Daylights, which is
Full Metal Jacket came out that same year,
and La Bamba. So it's just not really much came out that summer. That
hey, La Bamba's great. Okay,
Adventures in Babies, Revenge of the Nerds 2, The Lost Boys. I mean, I don't see much that would have came out that summer that would have. Jaws: The Revenge is probably what knocked it out of. Superman 4: The Quest for Peace is what knocked it off the mantle.
No.
That's what it
Not
was.
Superman 4, but La Bamba, which was a budget of $6 million, made 54. So, boom.
Yeah, La Bamba was good.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
Oh, La Bamba.
You know, when I was a kid, I didn't realize like it was a real story. Like Richie Val, I know it was a real person. So I just, when I found out he actually died like that, like in the plane, I was like, that's crazy. That's also really sad.
You know what? My mom loves that movie.
It's a good movie.
And then when we were, where were we at? Big Mad Monster, and Lou Diamond was there.
Oh, really?
I could have gotten his autograph for my mom, and I didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about it. Oh well. But that's it. That's The Lost Boys from 1987.
Forever
Damn,
classic.
I'm old, baby.
Always will be.
I'm old.
I say classic. I'm sorry. I meant
It's a classic.
It is. It's a great movie.
It's classic. And Jamie Gertz is hot. Keep watching this. I'll keep watching this over and over and over again. I watch this.
Yeah,
it's
watch
awesome.
it until I die. I mean, not like every day, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I'll always watch it.
If you haven't seen this movie, you are probably retarded, and you need to watch it.
No, yeah, you're missing out.
Yeah, you need to watch this movie. It's awesome. It's a good movie.
There's a lot of people out there that don't like watching old movies. I'm quoting with my fingers, old movies.
Why not?
I don't know. They not enough CGI.
Any CGI is too much CGI.
Hey man, some movies pull it off. Lord of the Rings is good.
Yeah, I know. The Flash did really good. They pulled it off really good.
We don't need to talk about that travesty.
That's it. That's all I got for this episode of Guess What? You're Wrong. Got any final words?
Okay. I know, okay, because I was re-listening to our Saw episodes. This is the first one. Which
Eventually, we got to do part 2.
we do. But on that podcast, we talked about doing a movie series that wasn't a horror series. And I'm just going to put this out there again. Lethal Weapon. Because I've never seen any of them.
How many are there?
I don't know, like 4, I want to say.
Well, part 1 is a Christmas movie. It's in the Christmas. I got it on Plex right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that. I didn't know it took place.
Yeah, baby.
There's 4. There's 4 of them.
Nice.
I'm just saying. At least we should try to do the first one.
I'll do it, baby. I'm telling you. Well, that's all I got for this episode of Guess What? You're Wrong. Everybody out there, sweet dreams, love, peace, and
chicken grease.
Chicken grease, baby. Wait, I even got an outro.
He watches the monsters, the ghouls, the dead. His heart beats faster, his mind is fed with blood and gore and screams of fear. A world of darkness he holds so dear.
And that's going to do it for the day. Thanks for hanging out with me and letting me bend your ear for a while. Ain't no time for bad shine. And until next time, don't forget, you're wrong.
Later, Tater.
His laughter echoes a sinister sound as he dances with shadows on haunted ground. Horror a chilling name, lost in shining sight. Lost in the movies, from dusk to light. Sipping shine is the nectar of life, a twisted soul where horror doesn't end.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.